Your home isn't messy. Your life is overloaded. That's what someone told me once, and it hit me hard. If you've been feeling anxious, distracted, or like you can't catch your breath lately, it might not be you. It might be the way your environment is draining your peace without you even noticing. Today, I'm not talking about extreme minimalism. No white walls, no floor mattress. I'm talking about tiny habits, simple practical changes that helped me go from scattered and stressed to clear, calm, and actually in control. These are the 19 minimalist habits that quietly but completely changed how I live, and they might just do the same for you. 1. Regularly clear out clutter. Every couple of months, I like to do a quick sweep of my house and ask myself, is this something we really need? Or is it just cluttering up the place? It doesn't take long, just 10 minutes in each room can make a big difference. I remember opening a drawer in my living room the other day and finding a pile of old remote controls. I only use one, so I decided to get rid of the extras and donate them. The key is not to put it off when I come across things that aren't serving a purpose, whether it's clothes, gadgets, or just random items. I handle it right away because once clutter starts building up, it becomes so much harder to deal with later. 2. Keep your counters clear. It's amazing how quickly flat surfaces can gather clutter. Whether it's the kitchen counter or the coffee table, if I don't keep them clear, they seem to become magnets for random stuff. By simply wiping down and keeping these areas free of things, I've noticed that my space feels so much more organized and relaxed. It's easier to use, and it helps keep that sense of calm that's important in a clutter-free home. Just a quick daily habit of tidying up these surfaces makes a world of difference. 3. Get creative with what you have. Instead of running out to buy the latest gadget, I try to think about how I can use what's already around. For example, I used to have a ton of kitchen tools for very specific tasks, like I bought an apple corer thinking I'd use it all the time. But I realized a regular kitchen knife does the job just as well, no need for a special tool. Or when I needed a new plant pot, instead of buying one, I just repurposed an old jar I had lying around. It's amazing how much stuff we can reuse if we just think outside the box. By getting creative with what I already have, I save money and reduce clutter at the same time. 4. Shop with purpose. I've learned to slow down before making any purchase. Instead of immediately buying something I like, I pause and think about whether it's something I genuinely need or just a passing desire. For example, I once added a new kitchen gadget to my shopping cart on a whim, but instead of buying it right away, I wrote it down and waited a week. After some time, I realized I hadn't thought about it much and didn't really need it, so I didn't go through with the purchase. To keep myself in check, I jot down items I'm considering and let some time pass, whether it's a week or more, before I go back to see if I still feel the need to buy them. This practice helps me avoid impulse buys and make smarter decisions, which keeps my space less cluttered and my budget in check. 5. The 1-minute rule. If something can be done in under a minute, just do it right away. Don't wait. For example, when you finish cooking, instead of leaving everything on the counter, take a moment to wipe it down immediately. Or, if you're done with a dish, wash it right away. These small actions make a huge difference. By dealing with things on the spot, you prevent messes from piling up and avoid the bigger cleanup later. It's a habit that keeps your space tidy and stress-free. 6. Get rid of clutter. Quickly, when I realize something no longer serves a purpose, I don't wait around. I deal with it immediately, whether it's donating, selling, or tossing it. For example, I once found a pile of old books sitting in the corner of my office for months. Instead of putting it off, I sorted through them, donated the ones I didn't need, and it only took me 15 minutes. The last thing I want is for clutter to hang around for months, taking up space and making the task feel even bigger than it is. The faster you let go of things, the easier it is to keep your space clean and organized. It's all about making quick decisions and not letting things pile up. 7. Take care of what you own. Instead of always thinking about what I'm missing or what I still need, I've started focusing on what I already have. For example, I realized that I have some beautiful mugs and plates that I rarely use. So now I make it a point to use them more often, not just leave them tucked away in the cupboard. By showing more care for the things I own, whether it's cleaning, organizing, or making small repairs, I've found that I feel less inclined to buy more stuff. This shift in thinking has helped me keep my space clutter-free because I appreciate and value what's already here. It's about making intentional choices and truly caring for the things we already have. 8. Keep your wardrobe simple. I've learned that having fewer clothes actually makes life a lot easier. Instead of spending time trying to figure out what to wear from a packed closet, I focus on keeping pieces that I really love and that actually fit my lifestyle. This not only saves me time, but it also reduces the stress of having too many choices. For example, I realized I was only wearing a handful of outfits, so I decided to keep just those. Now I can easily grab what I need without second guessing, and I'm always comfortable in what I wear because it's what suits me best. Less clutter, less stress, and more confidence in my choices. 9. Stick to one versatile bag. Simplifying your accessories can seriously cut down the stress of getting ready. Instead of juggling multiple bags for different occasions, I chose one small neutral-toned crossbody that works for almost everything going to work, running errands, or grabbing coffee with friends. For example, I used to switch between a tote, a backpack, and a clutch, depending on where I was going. But honestly, it just made me forget things all the time. Now, with one go-to bag, I keep everything I need in one place and never have to think twice. 10. Get resourceful with what you have. Before I buy something new, I always ask myself, can I make do with what I already have? It's amazing how often the answer is yes. For instance, I had some old clothes I no longer wore, and instead of getting rid of them, I found new ways to use them. Sometimes it's as simple as turning an old shirt into a cleaning rag or repurposing a box into storage. Getting creative with what you already have not only saves money, but helps keep things clutter-free. So next time you're tempted to buy something, take a moment to think about how you can reuse, repurpose, or get creative with what's already in your space. 11. Create space and let it be empty. You don't have to fill up every corner of your home. Sometimes leaving a space empty can be the most calming choice you make. We're so used to thinking that shelves or drawers need to hold something. But what if they didn't? What if they were just clear? When I cleared out a shelf in my hallway and left it bare, it felt strange at first. But over time, that blank space became a visual break, a pause. Now I don't rush to fill empty spots. I let them stay empty, and that in itself brings a sense of peace. 12. Be picky about what comes into your home. Sometimes people will offer you things, whether it's a hand-me-down, a freebie, or just something they think you might like. But here's the thing. Just because something's free doesn't mean it's worth bringing home. I've started being a lot more mindful about saying no when I don't actually need something. For example, when someone offered me a stack of old books the other day, I thought about how they'd just take up space on my shelf. Instead of saying yes out of habit, I politely declined. It's all about being intentional with what you allow in your space and not feeling guilty about saying no. 13. Focus on buying less but better. I've learned that it's better to invest in a few high-quality things than to keep buying more just for the sake of having more. Whether it's clothes, gadgets, Or even furniture, choosing items that are made to last means I don't have to replace them every year. I remember buying a cheap kitchen knife once thinking I'd save money, but after just a few months, it was already dull and useless. I eventually spent a bit more on a solid one, and it's been a game changer. Not only did it save me money in the long run, but it also reduced the stress of constantly replacing things. Quality really does make a difference. 14. Budgeting. More freedom. Being mindful of my spending has honestly been a game changer. I no longer buy things just because they're on sale or because they seem like a good idea in the moment. I make sure to plan my meals for the week, check in on my spending, and really think before making a purchase. It's amazing how much more control I feel over my life when I'm not constantly juggling bills or feeling guilty about impulse buys. For example, instead of buying a bunch of takeout or eating out every week, I meal prep on Sundays, which saves me money and keeps me organized. The more I focus on what I truly need and what I can afford, the easier it is to stick to a budget, and that gives me more peace of mind and freedom to focus on what really matters. 15. Keep it simple when you go out. Whenever I head out, whether it's for a weekend getaway or just running errands, I make sure to only bring the essentials. The less I carry, the more relaxed I feel. It's all about avoiding the extra baggage, literally and figuratively. I've found that packing light not only saves time, but also helps me stay focused on what really matters, rather than being weighed down by unnecessary stuff. It makes life so much easier when I don't have to worry about carrying around extra things I don't need. 16. Cut back on driving. I've started grouping my errands together so I don't waste time or fuel going back and forth. Instead of running out for one small thing, I plan ahead and tackle a few tasks at once. This small change has made a big difference in saving me time, cutting down on gas, and giving me more energy for the things that really matter. For example, I used to make a trip to the grocery store every few days, but now I plan my shopping list for the whole week in one go. It's not just better for my schedule, but also for my budget and the environment. 17. Cherish moments, not stuff. Whenever I go on a trip, I don't feel the need to buy souvenirs. I prefer to focus on the experience itself and capture it with photos or by simply enjoying the moment. For instance, during my last vacation, I skipped the typical souvenir hunt and just spent more time exploring and taking in the scenery. When I look back now, it's those memories, those little moments that feel so much more meaningful than any souvenir I could have picked up. It's amazing how much lighter you feel when you stop collecting things and start collecting experiences instead. 18. Let go of perfect aim for better. Each day, you don't need a picture-perfect home to live more intentionally. What really counts is progress. For example, maybe you didn't declutter your entire closet, but you took 5 minutes to clear out a drawer. That still matters. Or maybe you bought something you didn't need but you noticed, and now you're more mindful next time. It's not about getting everything right. It's about doing a little better than yesterday. 19. Own your choices. Living a minimalist lifestyle isn't always easy to explain to others, and that's totally okay. In the beginning, people might think you've gone a little too far with getting rid of things or simplifying your space. But with time, they'll start to notice the calmness and clarity it brings. When you embrace less, you often end up with more peace, more time, and more happiness. And before you know it, they'll understand why you made those choices. Living with less isn't about rules or restrictions. It's about making space for what actually matters to you. Even something small, like clearing off your nightstand or saying no to an extra sale item, can shift how your day feels. If this video gave you a new perspective or a nudge to simplify something in your life, that's a win. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what habits you're trying out. And if you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe for more ideas on living with more purpose and less clutter. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.